Kim Jacobs, the Balance Doctor. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real, relevant, and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show. How are you all today? How are you, Mama Ja, over there?
I am so well. Thank you for having us back.
Oh, I'm so glad to have you. Hello, what's your name?
This is John.
Hi, John. How are you? You're on the screen, John. It's
Yeah.
like you there. All right, listen, we're so glad to have Mama Ja here today on the Kim Jacobs Show. She's called Mama Ja, but it's Johnitta Medina. That's a name to work with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you like your name growing up?
No, but I always knew that it rhymed because other kids always pointed that out, Johnitta Medina, how it rhymed. But now I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a name that I could work with. It belongs in lights somewhere. So
right.
It's in lights in my mind.
That's good. Yeah. Well, you know how you come into growing into loving your name.
Yes.
Like my middle name is named after my great grandmother. And so back in the day, people would tease me and they would be like, Darth Vader, Star Wars. I was like, what? That is not what I want to be called or thought of. But now it's truly an honor.
Yes.
To be able to have a piece of my great grandmother with me. Yes. And so I'm so excited about it. So listen, everybody, I can see that you all are coming into the virtual studio audience. And when you come in, go ahead and let us know where you're visiting in from. Today, we're talking with Johnitta Medina, and we're going to be talking about integrated parenting and lifestyle, integrating both of them, and how she uses a value-centered approach to parenting. So tag everybody, because this is about balance here, everybody, okay? She has her children home with her, and everybody's out of school today. So it's like, oh, I had this show scheduled, and here I have my children home. Guess what? Such is life, right?
Yeah, that's motherhood to a T.
Motherhood all we don't have a choice that much, do we?
Yeah. No, but the choices that we do get is how we feel in the situation. You know, yesterday when I was like, oh, okay, everybody's going to be home today. This is going to be okay. Because the last time we were here, everybody was home as well. So it's just like, if we freak out about it, if we get upset about it, if we get upset about the things that we can't control, then we lose our power. So, you know, remaining calm and level-headed, even when things are like,
right. I love it. I love it. Right before we went live, my daughter came in. Mm-hmm. I was like, see, this happens to me all the time too. So they don't want to wait until after a whole hour to get their question answered. It's like, yes. Are you crazy? I have a question on you saying I have to wait until you get off of a whole good show before I ask my question to my mother. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, come on and ask the question. And then she's back off doing what she needs to do, you know? So today, everyone, as we're talking with Johnitta Medina, I'm going to say that whole name.
Yes.
Medina, I want you to go ahead and get situated and be sure to ask your own questions as well. She's a mother, entrepreneur, a life transformer, self-love advocate, and also the owner of Mama Ja's. So talk to us about some of your journey, some of your experience. Where did you come from? Tell us who you are and what you bring to the world here.
Well, I'm originally from New York. Proud New Yorican, by way of Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania. So our family did that great migration to, provide a better life and a safer environment for my brother and I. And then I just kind of stayed in that area until about 3 years ago, and we ventured out west. Now we are located in Denver, Colorado.
Okay.
And you know, my journey with motherhood is a little bit unique as well. I have 3 boys. So I have 2 biological sons. My oldest and my youngest are my biological children. And then my middle son is actually my nephew. And we became a family when he was 10 months old and my oldest son was 14 months old. So they're like 5-6 months apart. And I went from having 1 baby to 2 babies overnight.
Okay.
And
Before you go further, do you want to tell us how that happened, or just kind of?
oh yeah, well, my sister, unfortunately, she passed away, and she had a brain aneurysm
Oh
at
my.
39 years old. So like a lot of what was the catalyst for my healthy lifestyle change was from the direct impact that I saw within my family. So she had, you know, in general, our lifestyles were very different, and so that coupled with toxic stress being stress that you experience over long periods of your life, and many of us experience that and not even realize it, that we're experiencing toxic stress, because it's our normal, it's our baseline. So she passed, and then 6 months later my father passed from complications due to diabetes. And I was like looking at these 2 babies at the time, they were toddlers, and I'm like, if I don't do something, they are really, really going to be alone in this world. So I need to get it together. I need to do some things differently. And that's how like I just started really becoming serious with all of the things that I consume, whether it was food, my work environments, you know, how I interact with my children as well, because I was learning all of this on the fly, on my own. I was working like 50 or 60 hours a week just to like make sure everything was running. And I worked at my children's school at their daycare center. And that really opened me up to the possibility of parenting differently than I had been parented. And that was, yeah, that was big. That was really big.
That
And
is huge. I mean, you had like, that's a lot.
that
Already.
is, I'm going to write a book one day.
Yes, you should.
But, you know, just how a child's mind develops, what are the kind of things that children need? What is within and outside of what is like not age appropriate or age specific, because my oldest son has autism. And when they were both young, I was like, there is something, you know, he's not talking, you know, a mother knows, right?
You know.
Mother knows when there's something different. And working with children, it's like, okay, I have this grand variety of children his age, you know what I mean, and what they're doing, and you know, just having to learn and understand neurodiversity, and acceptance, like real, true, unconditional love, what that is and what that looks like. And when you get to a certain point, because I had to do a lot of healing, you know, healing work on my end, while I'm also trying not to create any harm, you know, with my children, breaking those generational curses. Really, you get down into that shadow work of like working with your inner child. You know, how did I want to be talked to? How did I want to be addressed when I was a child? How did I want to be supported when I needed to express big feelings, you know? And then giving that to my kids has been such a gift, because even though like we have our struggles like any other family, I'm raising 3 children by myself, so that presents with its own, you know, challenges, but we're not adding anything on top of it, you know what I mean? And that all starts with ourselves. We are the leaders of our families. We are what sets the tone on our energy. And I really, you know, advocate for women, especially mothers, especially, to take care of ourselves first. And that is totally the opposite of what we are like taught and learn, is that we are Yeah, the complete opposite is that we
You
serve,
take care of
we
everybody
serve,
else
we
first.
serve. Yes. And to be of service, you know, in our position as mothers, as community leaders, has, well, I find that it is done best through a cup that is full. I
Yes.
cannot give onto them if I haven't given anything to myself.
That's
You
right.
know, so I wake up super early, way before the sun, between like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I wake up, I do my meditations, I listen to my, you know, my meditations online. I just do my breath work and any stretching. If I feel called to do an exercise, you know, like some rigorous exercise, I will. But you know, our home space, like to be able to utilize it in a way that serves us best, even if we don't have a ton of space, creating little bits and pieces and pockets of our own joy, so I can sit in my little corner of my room, you know, ring my little bell and light my little candle, you know, and do my prayers and my meditation, so that when my kid wakes up, whatever side of the bed they're on, I know what foot I stepped on, because it was the intention that I put. This morning, this young man, he woke up and he was not happy with me. The same way I affirm to myself is the same exact way that I affirm to them.
Wow.
What was the one we used this morning? I am love and I am loved, so I'll be loving. And
Yes.
you know,
John, you are love, you are loving. And
yes.
so you'll be loved and you'll
Mm-hmm.
be loving to others, right?
Yes. Yeah. And then I get to be the example for when they are having hard feelings.
That's
And
right.
that is not always easy to do, you
No,
know,
not at
and
all.
not at all. And I'm human, and I will be the first one to be like, yeah, there are times where I didn't pour into myself. Eat like consistently. I might have done it that morning, but I hadn't been on it in a couple weeks, you know.
Right,
Or
right.
you know, I know that I'm not sleeping well, and then I wake up and I'm grumpy, and then I'm a little snippy and stuff. So that is parenting our children. We also have to parent ourselves and be like, no, girl, you know, you need to be in bed before 10 o'clock, or else you're going to be grumpy the next day. And with, you know, because I have children like with a bit of a gap, I get to see that in my older children, how they're able to self-regulate and understand, even though that we do things differently than maybe their friends do. Maybe their friends stay up real late at night and play video games, and that is what works in their house.
Right.
But what works for us, like knowing what works for you, if like and knowing that each household is different. I have friends that them and their kids are not awake right now, and that is so lovely for them.
Right.
Their life, you know what I mean, can facilitate that, and that's what works for them.
Whatever
For
works.
us, I have to wake up at 4 because my kids, their bodies wake up at 6. They do that, and that is our rhythm and flow, and respecting our children's rhythms and flows for what they are. You know, giving them the time they need to transition from one activity to another. And it's really just checking in and checking ourselves,
Yeah.
so that our kids can be able to do the same thing. Yeah. You are being so shy. He's like,
You'll
I
open
want to
up
be
by the
here,
end of
but
the
I just want
hour.
to be here with you.
That's by the end of the hour. He's like, hey, everybody. All right, listen. We're talking with Johnitta Medina, and I want to put this picture up because I was looking through some of your page, and that picture, tell us about that time in your life.
That was my oldest son's first birthday. And we were at Lake Tobias actually. And I had lost a little bit of weight before I got pregnant. Like really, that was the only reason that I had got pregnant, was that I had lost the weight. But during my pregnancy, pregnancy is such an emotional time, and I was doing that without any parents, and just thinking like I never got to ask my mom, like, what was my birth story? You know, like,
Wow.
did I take a bottle or did you breastfeed me? You know, so it was just having to do that really deep exploration.
Wow.
And at that time, I hadn't gotten to the point in my journey yet where I was actively healing these wounds. And how I had got so big in the first place was because I learned at a very, very young age to self-soothe with food. You know, when I was a baby, like they would tell me stories of, you used to go through 2 gallons of milk a week and like, or a day or something like that. Every time I would cry, I would get fed. I would get fed just to kind of shut me up. And then that progressed into disordered eating as I got older, where it's like I'm having big emotional things. I know that if I eat, if I eat enough of the right stuff in my mind at that time, that I could numb myself and just get to a point, because food addiction really is like on the same level as any other drug out there. And what is hard about it is because you have to have food, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you have to learn what really is the root cause of it. And you know, I still have times where I was like, oh, I'm getting my moon is coming and I want some ice cream. But I know that it's as a what is within the normal realms of comfort and what is outside of that, and learning that, like, am I trying to escape or disassociate from my life with food? No, so I really dealt with a lot of that during my pregnancy, and I was very unhealthy towards the end of my pregnancy. I had to be on bed rest because my blood pressure was so high. I had a really traumatic birth experience and dealt with postpartum depression, which I didn't realize I was dealing with postpartum depression until way afterward. And, being very isolated in the newness of my motherhood now, as a woman in the community that supports other women. When I know that there's a woman in my circle that's having a baby, like, I know how I can love on people. So like, I'm bringing covered dishes. You know what I mean? Do you need your house clean? Please let me know. Let it be known that I'm available for that.
That's awesome. Awesome. So,
yeah, but that's a lot of the work that I do now is just showing up as the person that I had to become to save myself. And just being that person with other people, not for them, but just with them, letting them know, we are in this together. Like, you really can come through from the other side of this. It's going to take some deep, deep work. You're going to have to be alone for a bit. You're going to have to sit with these feelings. It's never about running away from them. It's about being with them and being okay with them, because of course I get sad. There's times where I'm like,
everyone does,
20 years, and I will be like, I miss my mom. I want my mom. And I cry, and I let myself cry, because if I were to bottle that up, then I'm walking around not understanding why there's so much mixed up emotions inside of me.
That's right.
And that goes into every relationship that I have. That goes into the relationship I have with my children, especially because a lot of the things the traumas that people experience in their homes as children is due to their parents not have healed certain parts of themselves. So it's just we're not healing it, then we are just repeating it and repeating it.
Generational
recycling
of the same trauma and drama over and over. This is really great information that you're already sharing, and I'm appreciative of you sharing your story so far. We're going to be continuing to hear more from Johnitta Medina today, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Today's episode is sponsored by the Snow Legal Group. If you haven't reached out to them, give them a call at 704-358-0026, or you can email them at info@snowlegal.com and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way, especially if you're in the North Carolina and the South Carolina area. Those are the areas that they service, and they have done a tremendous job at winning some significant trials recently. So check them out, and let's learn more about them now.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everybody, we are back with Johnitta Medina, Mama Ja here, and listening to her story and her journey of actually, it's like clearly a story of being selfless. You took on you could have easily made another decision, but you took on your sister's son and made him your own, and now he's your son. And that's just, I am thoroughly impressed with that. Let's look at a couple of, I see you with the boys here. That's wonderful. And you just seem like you just said, hey, come on, we're gonna be one big happy family.
Yeah.
That's so wonderful. And then who is this?
This is me, my older brother, my mom, and my dad. Throwback to the 90s with the tees, little puff. I love it. Oh, that picture.
and your mom, you resemble her a lot too, obviously. And your dad. But okay, but let's see. Oh yeah, you.
So both of them, yeah. I got a real good mix.
That's awesome. So tell us, you're a single mom. What are you? You're a single mom, obviously by choice.
Yes.
Because whatever happened, and you can talk about whatever you want up to that point. But being a single mom, talk to us about that journey, and talk to us from the perspective of what advice would you give other single moms that are out here everybody's not embracing single motherhood. They're like, I need this from this person. I can't make it without this person. But you seem to be doing it with grace and style. So please share some tips with us.
For sure. And I love how you frame that. That is something that I've done for myself, that it is a choice. It is a choice that we do make oftentimes. All situations are different, but I know for me, it was a very conscious choice. We're adults. Sometimes things happen that are unexpected, or even like my oldest son, like he was definitely planned and embraced. But then, you get, while you're loving yourself, you understand that, hey, that is a big truck. No. Yeah, the back is off. The kind of things that we deserve, the kind of things that we desire, and knowing that, like, I don't know where it's at, honey. I'm sorry.
And that's, again, the Kim Jacobs Show is about bringing balance to the world. The only way we're going to bring balance to the world is if we get into the worlds of other people that are balancing things for real in their own daily lives. And so this is a beautiful thing. So if you need to take a break, feel free, and I can run a commercial, whatever it takes is fine with me.
He's trying to find a piece of a truck that he thinks is downstairs. I'm not sure if it's downstairs, but we're trying to encourage him to stay up here and maybe play with the dinosaur car. I know. We talked about compromise today too.
Okay.
Compromise. I give you a little and you give me a little and we meet in the middle.
Right. A little middle.
I think this would be a good time for a commercial.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is take another commercial break right quick and learn more about Silver Shield Security now.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, everyone, and we are back, and we are talking with Johnitta Medina today, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Listen, if you have not reached out to Silver Shield Security, make sure you do so and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. Let me put their information up. It's 704-440 4688. Again, 704-440-4688. I have Silver Shield Security as well, and they do have state-of-the-art equipment. Like you can get this night vision lights and all kinds of parameter searches, all you name it is there. And so reach out to them and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. And as we're talking today about parenting, remember, and I talk about it, I don't know if you have a copy of my book, that's Extreme Balance Makeover, and it's Better Solutions, Better Focus, A Better Life. If you don't have a copy of it, make sure you go to kimjacobsshow.com and grab your copy, because it's important to know that what works in one family's household may totally not work and be disastrous in your household. So don't try to have some cookie cutter approach when it comes to your parenting style. Do what works for you and your household. And oftentimes you'll hear me talk about an individualized family plan. And in our house, we customize what area of focus we're going to focus on with our children for that particular day. So if we know, not for that day, but actually for a full month, we dedicate all of the resources, the time, the energy, the effort to build that area of weakness back up for that particular child. And so if it's confidence, then everything that we do, every time we have our family meetings and our sessions and we have our resources, we just deep dive into confidence, how to build confidence. We role play. We do whatever it takes to make sure that at the end of the time for that particular family member, they're able to have better confidence. And so I recommend strongly to people that you come up with strategies that you can implement in your immediate family and household that will work for you. And during dinner time, I talk often about having the opportunity to just have table topic discussion, those conversation starters. And that's things that you can just say, okay, if you were a person that could change anything in the world, what would that one thing be? You'd be surprised what your children will say if you're just having some basic conversation starters. They are brilliant in their minds, extremely brilliant. And the things that I know my children have come up with are mind blowing. I'm like, what? One of my children said, I would do, let me know when you're ready to come in, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up and I'll pull you back in. Okay. All right. We're back with Johnitta Medina. How are you over there? Okay. You're muted. Let's unmute you. Unmute yourself.
We're good. We're good. A little out of breath. We've been running up and down the steps trying to find the right toys.
But you did get the right toy.
We did it.
Yes. Way to go, mommy. Are you happy over there?
You good now? You happy now?
Yes. Very content. Very content. All right. So you were talking about single motherhood. So when you get a chance, go back to talking about that some more.
Yes. About it being a choice, a lot of times, it goes back to the things that we learned and then unlearning those things and relearning for ourselves.
Right.
There is no failure in saying this relationship is not healthy for myself or my children. That's the biggest thing. There's been a few times where I have to course correct people when they label my home as a broken home because it is a single parent home.
What?
And yeah.
Oh my goodness. Now that's interesting. I hadn't thought about
that because that is something like just as a society that we accept that there is some type of brokenness and having to make the right choices for ourselves. I practice non-attachment. So when things have their time and when things are done, then they're done. And then that's okay. That is not a failure on my part or anybody else's. Having amicable relationships with their other parents is just like the best thing that I can do for them. And sometimes when people stay in relationships that are toxic, then it gets to the point where you can't even communicate about the kids anymore because there's so much animosity that's been built up over maintaining something that is not healthy. It all boils down to the health aspect. What is healthy for my children to see? What is healthy for me? Am I able to show up as a resource for my children while navigating this unhealthy thing? So, No, and that's okay. That's okay. You know, that took work. That took work because I also kind of, in my head, I was going to get married at 27. I was going to start having kids before 30. You know, like you just have the happily ever after thing
That's right.
in your mind. And especially like in my culture, most of my friends were married very young. You know, they were 18 and getting married, and that's fine. But I knew that was not for me. You know,
Right.
that I'm a very free spirited person. So you want so sisu? Thank you so much for using your words. Can you be patient while I put it on for you? Patient. Yes.
Please.
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 Whatever word you
Give
need
me
to
technology. Yeah, you do got a sword. But you know, allowing ourselves to create those narratives for ourselves instead of saying, oh, I did wrong. Oh, like, because I could sit here and say, oh, I've made mistakes, because we all have.
We all have. So if there's anybody that you encounter and anybody that's watching today's episode, if you say that you're perfect, we know that we're not perfect individuals. And the only perfection I have in my life is my hope in Jesus Christ and my connection to my Lord and Savior. So that's for me, the perfection that I cling hold to, you know.
Yeah.
But as far as me as an individual, it's no. If you say you don't have any sin, that's just simply not true. So
yeah, and to give ourselves the freedom of forgiveness, because especially like, you know, God forgives. We have to be able to forgive ourselves. We have to give ourselves grace in the things that we cannot change, and change the things that we can, you know, like smiling when the baby gives you a sword mustache, you know, on the Kim Jacobs show. You just gotta
right,
be
whatever it takes.
But
you know what? Answer that right quick too. I think that's a good point, because the way that you're making it is very lighthearted and you're embracing it. But some people go to great extremes to get rid of things that they don't desire to have in their lives.
Yeah.
What advice, based on your own willingness to embrace your family the way that you do, would you share with moms that are at their wits' end? They're frustrated, they're stressed out, they're like, I cannot believe I'm left to do this by myself. What tips would you, or even just a one-liner of advice would you would give to those kind of moms?
Worry about yourself.
Worry about yourself.
Because so many times, and I see it, we'll get caught up on what the other person's doing. They got freedom, they can do that, blah, 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 blah. None of that energy serves me. None of that energy goes towards creating the life that I want. Like I'm like that. I'm so stingy. I'm so bougie with my energy.
Oh, let me
like,
put this picture right here up. Let me put this picture up.
Yeah.
Is that right there kind of sums it up, right?
Yep.
You're like, don't make me give you the side eye with the eyebrow lifted.
And I think what's wonderful for me to be able to see is that I have spent time in both spaces. I have spent a good part of my life being very unhealthy in the way that I view the things that are happening. Like, why is this happening to me? Everything happens to me. Why is things so hard? Those kind of stories that I told myself became a reflection in the way that my life was going. So if I tell myself everything's so hard, everything will feel so hard. If I tell myself I am capable, I am strong, I am worthy of the support where it comes from. I'm loved and I can give that back to people. I am valued within my community. My community values me. You know, it just feels so much different, and the support will come. We give a lot of power to people in our lives. Like, you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do that. And it is really up to that particular individual whether they show up in those roles in their own life.
It's their choice.
It's their choice. So if I'm freaking out about somebody else's choices, then what I'm doing is I'm not making the right choices for myself because my attention's over here instead of being over there with my goals and my dreams and my ambitions and the life that I want to live. And I'm not saying like I'm an independent woman, but I'm not saying like I don't need nobody, da da da. I'm not saying that. I love that people are in my life and love and support my family. And I am worthy of the support. This is not a job to be done alone. It takes a village to raise children.
Of course.
Instead of being mad at the person who's not showing up, I express so much love and joy and gratitude for the people who do show up in my life, my sisters in the community, how they show up for me. Like I had a major surgery, and I had several, like my neighbor, a friend of mine that we met when we first landed in Denver, and both of us were like out here in the wild with our kids and just barbecuing in the park because we didn't know what else to do, you know, type thing. I had her, I had another sister in the community, and together we were able to make it happen.
Yes.
It was harder than most people's journeys because they had to go and tend to their own babies. But because they were here for me in that moment, I was able to gather my strength and be like, okay, if it is to a point where I really absolutely need it, there is somebody there, you know, and holding on to that strength, and then having that strength, our spiritual strength, to like really value and believe in ourselves, you know. Like if my God, my creator, my ancestors, my everybody believes in me, the whole universe got my back, who am I to say I can't do this?
You can do anything.
I can do anything. And there are times in my life that have been very, very rough. I mean, like I was homeless when I was pregnant with him, in a new state, in a new city. I didn't know anybody. And if I would have I definitely took like 2 or 3 days where I cried in a hotel room. Like, I don't know. You got to give yourself that time. You know, you got to be.
I've had those times. I've had
your pity party, but know that the party is over at 9 o'clock. Then you kick that pity out, and I don't care where you go, but you don't got to stay here.
That's right.
And you start being like, okay, I don't know exactly how this is going to work, but it does. Will, because everything always does. Everything always works itself out.
Yes.
You know, why am I to stress? Oh, why did this happen? It happened. It's here now.
Yeah,
so
it is what it is. What can you do about it? But what we can do about it is we can actually do what we are capable of doing in the situation. And so if we know that like our children and our loved ones are looking to us for inspiration and encouragement, we can be who God created us to be and let our light shine in that positive light versus it being just like, oh, well, you know, everything's to shot now. No, everything's not to shot.
Yeah.
God created me to be who I am and what I bring to this world, you know? And so that's such exciting news that you're sharing. Listen, we're going to take another commercial break and we're going to learn more about Hunter Everidge right now. And then when we come back, we're going to talk more with Mama Ja. All right.
When someone has lost a loved one, they want to know what exactly happened. They want to know, is the other person going to be held responsible? And they want closure. At Hunter Everidge, we help clients that have lost a loved one move on, and to do that with dignity and respect that they deserve.
We are back, and we are back with Mama Ja. And okay, so how do people stay connected with you, Mama Ja? I don't have your contact information back here in the private chat. So
yes, I'll also put it on the feed as well. So mammajas.com is where you can find me the easiest. There's a contact us tab that you can email me through.
Let me see how we spell it. MAMAJAHS.
MOMMAJAHS. Yep. .com.
MOMMAJAHS.com.
Yes.
All right, y'all. That's how we're gonna stay connected with Mama Ja's. And we're getting ready to transition for a second because I know we've been talking about motherhood. Well, you know, I want to make sure that I got to this one point about the BIP. Is it the What perspective?
Black and brown Indigenous. So
Oh.
that encompasses all of us in the diaspora.
I was like, okay, BLPOC.
Yes.
Black and brown. I did not get that in the typing.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. So tell us one more time what that is.
Black, brown, and Indigenous. So
Okay.
that just kind of encompasses us all. There is so many similarities into our ancestral, like how we got to be right here, right now.
Okay.
And there's been a lot of pain and wounding that has traveled down that same generational chain. And I actually took a class while I was pregnant with him called Seedlings, and it really discussed how that actually changes our genetic makeup, like our DNA, and we become a little bit more susceptible to high stress, and what high stress then does to us on a cellular level, like the way our brain chemistry is made up, and how when we're, especially when we are creating life in our bodies, how that then goes to our children. So when I was pregnant with him, I was even though we were like in the biggest contrast of my parenting life, I was so very conscious of like how I felt, the things that I did, how I could bring joy. And my joy was the word. I thought everybody told me, it's a girl, it's a girl. Everybody wanted me to have a girl because I already had the 2 boys. But I was like, joy, 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 because I almost lost him. I was stressed out. I was crying, and I started having contractions. I was only a couple months pregnant. I was like, no, I will not let anything happen to this baby. I won't let anything happen to my children. Yes, we are in this circumstance, but I get to dictate how we navigate through it. Because it's not about the storm that you're in. It's how you're rowing your boat. It's how you're putting up your sail. It's how you're protecting yourself. And knowing that, like, yes, I am, even now, even right now, even in the darkest time of your whole life, you are worthy of love. You are worthy of support. You're worthy of kindness. And that comes from yourself. Like, how am I telling myself that I'm this god awful person because I done made a big boo-boo? No, you kiss the boo-boo, just like with the babies. You don't be like, oh, you fell down, you big dope, when they're learning how to walk.
Right. No, you're like, come on, you got it. Let's do it again. It's so important to be able to dust yourself off and get back to trying again, to going forward. This is really good. If any of you all have questions or comments today in the studio audience, feel free to go ahead and type them in. And before the end of the broadcast, we'll make sure that we get to them. We're talking with Johnitta Medina today here on the Kim Jacobs Show. I do see a comment that came in. Hey, Mother Patricia Lofton said, good morning, ladies. God bless you and thank you for sharing.
Oh, bless you, Miss Patricia. Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you on today, Mother Lofton. Okay, so let's see. I want to make sure that we talk about your business side of things, because we've talked a little bit about self-care. We've talked about your parenting philosophy and how you really are all-inclusive and respectful, and affirmations and things pertaining to your children. But then there's that business entrepreneur side to you. So let's talk about that.
Yes. Well, I launched my business during the pandemic. So it was July 2020. And it's been something like I've had little, here and there's in the past, but nothing like legit, selling a plate or two or 27 on a Sunday. But there had been like just a lot of interest in the things that I was doing. And I was like, now is the time. I'm here at home anyway. I have this time. I'm so blessed with this time. I don't want to be out in the world trying to, not even trying to make money, because I attract money. Money loves me. Money loves hanging out with me. I'm such a great part of the economy. But yeah, that's why I be talking about money. Money is my homegirl. She loves me.
Yes.
We have a good time when we hang out.
But we can hang any day then. We like, look here, girl. What kind of money, all people be like, people try and down people that say, like prosperity preaching, I guess, or whatever. But at first, when I went to a conference one time and they were saying that, and I was like, I I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I think that is most everybody in here is saying, and then I said, you know what? Shoot, these people might have something going on and I need to get a whiff of. I'm like, money, come now.
Yeah.
You know what? So let me go ahead and raise my hand and claim the atmosphere. And then I started thinking about it. I said, you can call to your life some of the things that you want to manifest and to become a reality in your life. But the way that I do it is I believe that it comes through my Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
And that he allows those things to become a reality. But he said, I can ask, I can declare, I can decree, I can say, hey, come to me. Come, this is what I want to come into my life, into existence in my atmosphere. These are things that we can call to happen, So
and when you ask, it is given, when you ask, it is given. And if you're asking with a happy heart, like instead of like, oh my God, I need some money, I don't, have enough. And so then you start getting into this like scarcity, there's not enough. Then even when the money does come, you're like, oh, I gotta, just in case. It doesn't create a good feeling around it. And we grew up without a lot of things. So that was again with that unlearning and relearning, like, nah, like money is like really cool with me. I don't have to stress about money. But with Mama Jaws, like I went into business, I wasn't even worried about the money so much. I love to cook. People love my cooking. And I was like, how am I going to be able to give something like that in a way that's like safe for the pandemic, that I could provide and not have to expose myself to a lot of different people. Right. So, the adobo was something that I was already making myself. So adobo is like an all-purpose seasoning. You got yours.
Everybody on there talking about all these different seasonings. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I wanted you to wait. I was trying to wait for you to say adobo, but okay, look, y'all. This seasoning in this special package, it is so delicious, and I'm not even exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. Well, I do exaggerate a lot, like as far as I'm like, over the top, so nobody knows probably what I'm really telling. But this right here, this is the kind of stuff they use in the 5-star restaurants. Do you realize that you got something special here?
Yes. Yeah. I knew it. I tasted it. I was like, okay, this is the real deal. And then I started giving it out to my friends and they were like, this is great. So I was like, yeah, I really gotta sell this.
It came in my little packaging. Look, this is how I got it. I was like, oh, and you put some kind of affirmation that you are confident in your endeavors. And I give myself room to grow. And this is awesome. Yes. I'm so excited. So
Thank you so much. Yeah. And that's part of it too.
Screenshot this for me right quick.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it.
Let me do this too. I did something else if I can figure out how to do it because it's a little bit too large for the thing. Hold on one second. Let's see. Let me see if I can share. Oh yeah, I think I can. Yay. I'm going to open it now. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, as you can see, I put a little bit. There, wait. Okay, right now. Both seasoning already, but I'm gonna put a little bit more. And I am excited to be trying Mama Johnitta Medina's seasoning right here on our salmon. Yay! Thank you, Mama John. Yeah. Okay, so Jayla is trying the seasoning for Mama Jaws.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good?
Yeah, it does.
It's good.
So Mama Ja, one of my children, they are trying your seasoning. Let's see. It's on a piece of salmon. This is Mama Ja's seasoning. Adobo seasoning. It's delicious. That is some good stuff. Frankie, how is it, Frankie?
It's very tasty.
Is it?
Really, really good. Yeah.
Good. Okay. I'm excited. Mama Ja.
Get some more of this.
Okay.
Eat some
we
more of
got
that.
some more taste testers. But anyway, just wanted to get one taste tester here for you to get some good feedback on how the Jacobs love your seasoning from Mama Ja's.
I was like, we only have one
Adobo
piece of
seasoning.
salmon, y'all.
There you go.
Everybody
You want to
can
taste
eat
it, Jeremiah? Go ahead, taste it.
He was digging his eye.
I know. He did.
Yeah, Frankie's like, you done dug in the middle.
Okay.
Tastes really good.
All right, there you have it. Frankie's going for seconds, and I'm gonna get mine too. All right, there you have it, Mama Ja.
3 more pieces. I was like,
All right, so I am trying Mama Ja's seasoning, her adobo seasoning that she sent to us. So I'm gonna see how it tastes.
that was my first time tasting it.
This is delicious. This is delicious, Mama Ja. You know what you're doing. Okay, I'm putting this on. Fish, chicken,
Yep.
It's all like delicious.
Okay.
Girl, I done got my new. This is an excellent treat of a seasoning. It tastes delicious, like with really great blends of seasonings. Anyway, I love it. I love it. All right. I hope I wasn't talking too much with my mouth full.
Anyway, y'all, this was great. This is some great stuff. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. It's so tasty, and it's something that is like, I believe, at a 5-star restaurant level. So, or resort. You can put that into like different resorts worldwide. It is crisp. It gives a nice crisp when you cook it up. It's delicious.
Yes, speak it out to the universe. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me, like that it's being received so well. Because that is my, my flavor. And I really work really hard to ensure that we're having like quality ingredients, like we're using pink Himalayan sea salt instead of like iodine salt or anything like table salt.
That's so good.
Really high quality herbs and things like that. And I know, but mommy's right here.
It's delicious. So y'all make sure you support this single mama, Mama Ja, and make sure you go and get some of her adobo. My package, I saw somebody, I was like, if you don't put that package down right there, you pouring too much, because I only have one bag now. I need to get some. I'll order some more, but don't go pour happy now. They're going to pour. I'm like, a little bit will go a long way. Okay. It's really nice, really nice. So, all right. And I don't know. People can get that right on your website, right? You're muted. Oh, are you muted on purpose? Oh, it takes one mother. Okay, I get it. Okay, I mean, it takes one mom to another to be like, is that on purpose? Okay, I got you. Listen, y'all, if you are a mother, you're a mother, and when motherly things happen. So that's perfectly fine. So go to mamajas.com, everybody, and support her business, and make sure that you get some of this adobo seasoning. It is really good. I can't even describe to you how good it is. And also, I want to make sure that I invite you to learn more about Lamb Funeral Home. That's one of our episode sponsors for today as well. He was actually on our show yesterday, and I actually love this little clip that he did. So I'm going to play it, even though he's like, that's not my favorite clip, but I think it's great. And then I'll take you to his website. But Lamb Funeral Home, if you have not visited their website or learned more about their services, take a moment to do so. Let me introduce them to you now.
Hi, my name is Terry Lamb. I'm the owner of Lamb Funeral Home. I've been in the Southern community for about 30 years. Today, I hope you will join me on the Kim Jacobs Show. We'll be talking about subjects like veteran benefits and the preparing for the inevitable. Please join me. I'm sure that this will be very informative for you.
Mr. Lamb from Lamb Funeral Home. And what I'll do is also give you the opportunity to just see their website as well. But the phone number is 704-782-3011, 704-782-3011, or you can visit lambfuneral.com. I see you backstage. My
Johnitta. So we pull you back in, okay? Johnitta.
Thank you so much, Miss Kim, for your flexibility and your expertise with these screens. Thank you so much.
It's all good. And this hour went by quick because we only have like 3 more minutes anyway. So let's make sure any closing comments, thoughts that you wanted to get out to everyone today before we close out today.
Yes. Well, first and foremost, just thank you so much for having me back. It's really a great time. You ask the best questions. And I think the message I want to give for everybody, especially those of us who are navigating motherhood or single motherhood or, caregivership where you're a mom or a pop taking care of grandbabies, just be gentle with yourself and let that gentleness kind of just spread all over to the children in your life, whether they be in your home or in your community, because these babies are navigating a really different world than we ever have, and they need a little bit of extra love and support. So give that to you so you can give that to them.
I love it. I love it. MammaJaws.com. Visit there. Get your adobo seasoning. You will not regret it. I promise you, I'm not over exaggerating. It is something delightful. To say
Thank you so much.
It's delightful. It's a good experience. Okay. And then also I encourage you all, for those that are watching today as well, many of you have heard me talk this week about my friend Chantel Patterson that passed away. And she passed away tragically. And so it is I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I don't want to, I'm just disappointed. But anyway, so she did not have insurance. So we do want to try to get as much funds together for her homegoing celebration of life. And so there's a GoFundMe that's been put together, and please know that that's in the comment section. If you're able to contribute to the GoFundMe, and we greatly appreciate it. It's Chantel Patterson, and then the GoFundMe information is there. And all of the contributions are going to her daughter to be able to go towards their homegoing expenses and whatever other expenses associated with Chantel's life and legacy. Okay. So please make sure you know that and keep that in mind. Friday here on the Kim Jacobs Show is Freestyle Friday. So that's going to be a time where you all bring up topics that you want to talk about that's been happening throughout the week. It's so much happening in our society. People that have been vaccinated are still getting COVID. This is crazy times. So you have to have something that you believe in that's higher than yourself, because we are not our own. Whatever you believe in it. I'm going to stick to what I believe in too. But tomorrow we're going to be talking about some trending topics. We're going to be talking about health and wellness. We'll be talking about, a new song is being released right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And this gentleman is a blind musician that's going to be releasing one of his new singles right here on the show too. He's one of our experts. And we're going to be talking about single parenting obstacles as well from one of our experts too. So tune in tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mama Ja, you have been amazing. All the noise in the background is welcome. Let it go out with a bang.
Thank you.
It's okay. It's okay. Everybody have a great day. And thank you, Mama Ja. Go get your adobo season. All right. Have a great one.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show.